Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my live review for tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw. Welcome to WrestleMania week here on youtube.com/DanielGiza412. If you're just joining me for this live review of Raw, be sure to participate in the live chat. It's great to be back up here for another live video. Before I get into things, I want to apologize again for not getting my Q&A video. Once again, fell asleep, took a nap after work, so if everything goes well, tomorrow I would like to get to my Q&A video. So I will definitely answer your questions. Haven't forgotten about it. Just looking for some time in the day to do it. So without further ado, let's get right into my Raw review. Raw tonight was live from Washington, D.C. And of course, this is the go-home edition to WrestleMania 35, episode 1349. So, my overall thoughts on this edition of Raw, looking back on it, I'd have to say kind of an up and down episode. I thought it was one of the better episodes in recent memory, although that's not really saying much, just due to the fact of how piss poor Raw has been lately. But there was some good that I really liked on the show. There was some bad that I'll definitely get into talking about. But I thought the stuff that was good was really good, and the stuff that was bad was certainly really bad. And once again, it just goes to show that this show, if it was 2 hours, would be much, much better. Easily a much better show to sit and watch. But be that as it may, of course, we will have the live chat throughout this entire review as we go through the results for Raw, and let's talk about how things kicked off. So we had Stephanie McMahon. She was going to make an announcement about what was going to happen in the WrestleMania main event. Of course, we have Becky, Charlotte, Ronda for the Raw Women's Championship. Charlotte beat Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and she was going to enter into that match as SmackDown Women's Champion. Stephanie announced that both women's championships would be on the line in this match, meaning it would be a winner-takes-all match. So whoever wins that match will become both the SmackDown and the Raw Women's Champion. So let me know what you guys think about that. I know a lot of people kind of like, I'm not really a big fan of them combining the titles. I might be in the minority on this one, but I'm fine with them combining both women's championships. I mean, let's be honest. They weren't booking Asuka, well as it was. She unfortunately felt like an afterthought. And, if they're not going to book both women's champions the way that a champion should be booked, I mean, in a perfect world, the brand split would work, but I just don't have any credit or faith for these people to do a brand split right. And we can already see the cracks beginning to form. Guys like Rey Mysterio showing up on Raw. He's a SmackDown guy. We've seen Samoa Joe, Charlotte being on Raw. It's just like, what's the point of the brand split if we're going to have superstars? I mean, it's the same thing that happened last time. And Asuka does deserve better, and it's a damn shame of what happened to her with her championship reign. But be that as it may, I just think there's way, way too many titles as it is. If you want to consolidate both women's titles, that's fine. You have a women's main championship, and then you have your women's tag team championships. Hell, there should only be one WWE championship. I'd say get rid of the Universal title, combine both men's tag titles. I'm sorry, less championships, the better. At least that's for me. Less to me is always more. So that was Stephanie's announcement. We then get Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar. Heyman comes out, cuts promo, says Lesnar will be the winner come this Sunday. They said they know Seth Rollins is going to give it his all, and this Sunday, Lesnar will take Seth Rollins at his own words. And when Rollins said WrestleMania may be the last match of his career, Rollins gave everyone a spoiler. Heyman said Lesnar is going to end Rollins' career. And Rollins comes down. He gets right in Lesnar's face. And he says the WWE fans are sick of Lesnar. And he says beating Lesnar is improbable, but not impossible. And then Rollins and Lesnar begin to go at it. Brock blows off Seth by just pushing right by him. And Rollins hits a low blow on Lesnar. Lesnar hits some German suplexes on Rollins. He also tries to hit the F5, but Rollins escapes. Low blows Brock again for the second time and hits the curb stomp on the Beast. So I thought finally we actually got a good segment in this build. It took us how many weeks to get there? It's a damn shame. I mean, if Brock decided to show up more often than he did, This should be one of my most anticipated matches going into this show, but it's really not. And I just think the build has just been lacking, very lackluster. That's a damn shame. Because I think Lesnar and Rollins, I think they'll have a really good match at WrestleMania. Despite the piss poor build, I still am looking forward to this match, but the build would have helped. This helped a little bit, but I felt like it was too little, too late. And yes, WrestleMania, it's not going to be 9 hours long. How about 7.5? Although I'm not going for the pre-show, so I will only be there for 5.5 hours. So still, that's a long time to sit there, but maybe it'll end early. Yeah, WrestleMania ain't ending early. So let's move on here. We have the Boss and Hug connection, Beth Phoenix and Natalya versus Tamina, Nia Jax, and the Iconics. The best part of this match, I thought, was Beth Phoenix. She looked freaking incredible in this match. She speared Tamina through the barricade. Well, I should say clothesline Tamina through the barricade. Picked up Peyton Royce and hit her with the Glam Slam for the win. Afterwards, had a little bit of a confrontation between Beth Phoenix and Natty versus the Boss and Hug connection. So we have Fatal 4-Way Tag Team action on the line at WrestleMania 35. So I thought Beth, she looked really, really good here. And it's great to see her back because I've always been a fan of Beth Phoenix. And it's great to see her back in the ring here, mixing it up with the women of today's roster. So, some nice, tag team action here for the women on the show. How about this promo by Batista? Comes out. Shows a highlight package of him beating Triple H. Takes off his glasses. Tells Triple H to kiss his ass. And then he walks away. Easily. One of the best promos I've seen in a long, long time. You know why? Because it doesn't need to be this long diatribe of terribly scripted dialogue. It doesn't need to be that. Sometimes the best promos are short, sweet, and to the point. I wish this company would understand that a lot more often, that less is more. Making WrestleMania 8 hours or 7 hours or 7.5 hours doesn't necessarily make it a better show. Hell, 4 hours would be perfect. But be that as it may, I thought this promo by Batista was very effective, and I am looking forward to their no-holds-barred match at WrestleMania 35. Moving on here, Jinder Mahal versus Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews won. I did not watch that match. Why would I? We then have Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle comes out and says this is his last night. This is his last night ever on Monday Night Raw. And he said he appreciates the good times and the bad times. And from the bottom of his heart, he just wants to say thank you. We had a tremendous video package played for Kurt Angle, and he's crying in the ring. And this is just a great emotional moment. So just thinking about Baron Corbin coming out makes me want to fall asleep. Great emotional moment for Kurt. And then Baron Corbin, the charisma vacuum himself, comes out, and Kurt just says, you want to have an exhibition match tonight? And I'm just thinking, oh my God, no. Corbin comes down the ring, and he says he's just going to wait till WrestleMania. Rey Mysterio, who was supposed to face Kurt Angle tonight on this show, he runs down to the ring and says, Corbin may not want to fight Angle tonight, but someone needs to teach Corbin a lesson. Mysterio challenges Corbin to a match, and Corbin attacks Rey, and Angle makes the save. And Mysterio hits a springboard senton, and Angle blasts Corbin with the Angle Slam. So that would be our main event later on in the night. Baron Corbin versus Rey Mysterio. Yes, it's true. It's damn true. Now, speaking of a good match on this show, Raw Tag Team Championship match, the Revival versus Aleister Black and Ricochet. I thought these four guys went out there. They had a nice 10, 12-minute match. And when Ricochet ran the length of the ring and leapt over the ring post, taking out everybody, that was freaking incredible to see. And just as Ricochet was trying to get back into the ring, Scott Dawson, who was underneath the ring, grabbed Ricochet's foot, and Ricochet was counted out. So the Revival are the winners and still retain the Raw Tag Team Championships. After the match, Aleister Black hit Wilder and Dawson with the Black Mass, and Ricochet hit the 630 on Wilder. Well, I would love to see these four guys, get the spotlight here at WrestleMania. I just think we have way too many matches as it is. If you're going to add one more tag team match, either you do the Usos versus the Hardy Boys, which, if you haven't gotten that trending already, make sure that is trending. Or the Usos versus the Revival, unifying both tag team championships. Because, you figure Aleister Black, Ricochet, they're going to have time to shine NXT TakeOver. I just wouldn't want to see them thrown out at WrestleMania in a 2-minute or 5-minute tag team match, because I thought what they did here was good. Maybe you could save the rematch for the Raw after WrestleMania and give them more time, because I just feel like WrestleMania is a loaded show, and we already have 14 matches, and it's just like, how many more matches can we add to this card? It's just like, one more, all right, 15 matches. It's just like, to me, that's enough. I mean, it's just like, geez, I just can't take it. So we had Roman Reigns being interviewed backstage. He says he's 100% healthy, and then Drew McIntyre would blindside and attack Roman Reigns from behind and lay him out. I am certainly looking forward to Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. I've loved how they booked Roman since he's come back. I've really become more of a fan of Roman, ever since he's made his return. And I think him and Drew McIntyre are going to have a match that perhaps not a lot of people are looking forward to, but I certainly am, and I just want to see these two beat the hell out of each other at WrestleMania 35. We then had what was the best segment of the night. So it started out with Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair versus the Riot Squad. And if Rousey, Lynch, or Flair betrayed each other, that woman would be out of the WrestleMania main event. So towards the end of the match, Flair tags herself in. Flair and Lynch argue, and then Rousey tags herself in, and Morgan rolls up Rousey, who then rolled Liv Morgan through and locked in the armbar. Liv Morgan taps out. As soon as the bell rings, all hell breaks loose. Rousey attacks Flair. Lynch, Rousey, Flair, they're going at it. We have police running down to the ring. They handcuff Ronda Rousey. She's still beating the shit out of Becky Lynch. They handcuffed her. Then Charlotte Flair tackles Ronda Rousey. All hell is breaking loose. They're all handcuffed. They're all dragged to the backstage area. Charlotte's thrown into a police car. The police put both Rousey and Lynch in the same car, which honestly makes no freaking sense. Logically, why would you put both of them in the same car? However, they start kicking each other, and Rousey kicks the window out of the police car. The police pull Becky out of the car, and they open the door of the other police car, and Flair leaps out and knees Ronda Rousey right in the face. And, oh man, that was brutal. And then the police drive off with Lynch and Rousey. This is how you build to a match at WrestleMania, despite all the convolutedness at the beginning. I thought this was an effective way to sell what is your main event at WrestleMania. This was easily the best thing on this show. And then we had some filler. We had Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus Heavy Machinery. Heavy Machinery won. We had Braun Strowman versus in a handicap match versus two guys dressed up. I don't know. I didn't even watch this. Dressed up as Michael Che and Colin Jost. Braun Strowman wins. Who cares? Okay, this was somewhat interesting. Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush come down, cut a promo, and Charlie Caruso asks them if they're concerned after last week. Rush says there is nothing to worry about because Mahal was the one who lost last week. Lashley says he isn't worried about Finn Balor or the Demon. Balor appears on the Tron and says the Demon will be Lashley's nightmare at WrestleMania, and he morphs into the Demon. So for the first time ever, the Demon will be at WrestleMania, and I hope he just goes out there and squashes Bobby Lashley. So it was great to see the Demon, because last year we didn't get Demon Balor at WrestleMania, but Demon Balor is still undefeated. I think that trend will continue heading into WrestleMania. And then we had Baron Corbin versus Rey Mysterio. Just somebody tell me why. Why in the blue hell, to quote The Rock, was this the main event of the go-home Raw to WrestleMania? The go-home Raw to WrestleMania. It makes no sense. This was slow. This was plodding. This was boring. I almost fell asleep. And just real quick recap. Corbin gets the pinfall win, hits the deep six. And after the match, Corbin celebrates on the stage. Kurt Angle appears behind Corbin, and Angle puts Corbin in the ankle lock. He taps out. What a waste of Kurt Angle's final match. I mean, you couldn't have done John Cena, Kurt Angle. Been so easy to do. I'm still holding out hope they do debate and switch on Sunday, and Cena makes a surprise appearance at MetLife Stadium, but we'll see. But I wanted to go to sleep during that match, and I was almost about to, but luckily I was able to stay awake, so I can come up here and give you guys this Raw review as we continue on the road to WrestleMania and looking at the Raw poll, which will be up on my Twitter page at DanielGiza412. Be sure to vote on that if you're watching live. 7 votes so far, 29% thumbs up, 71% thumbs down. I think a lot of that had to do with the ending. I didn't think this was the greatest episode of Raw. I didn't think this was the worst episode of Raw. I thought it was a solid to decent episode of Raw, and if I would give it a grade, I would give it a C+. So that's really all I have to say about tonight's episode of Raw. Leave your comments down below for what you thought of Raw, what you liked, what you didn't like. And as we continue on the road to WrestleMania, of course, I will be in attendance. WrestleMania 35, 6 days away. Got an exciting weekend going to the Hall of Fame, going to WrestleMania, and of course, the Raw after WrestleMania. So I have a loaded weekend. Going to be doing a WrestleMania vlog video. Going to be doing a special interview on Saturday night, so stay tuned for that. Guest to be announced. But if you're watching, you know who I'm talking about. And then, of course, we'll have a WrestleMania vlog video documenting my trip to New York City. And then, of course, live reactions from WrestleMania itself. Going to try and get one live video up from that. And maybe a live reactions video from the Raw after WrestleMania. So a ton of great content coming soon to this channel. I will be back up here tomorrow night for my SmackDown review and, of course, my Q&A follow-up video. If you have not asked any questions yet, you still have time. If you're watching this video, go to my Q&A video. It'll be posted here on the channel. Ask your questions. I'm extending the forum until tomorrow, April the 2nd. Feel free to ask your questions. And I want to say thank you all for watching this video. Please click my like and subscribe button for more video content coming soon to this channel. Be sure to follow my links at facebook.com/DanielGiza1994, Twitter at DanielGiza412, and of course here at youtube.com/DanielGiza412. So I am out, guys. Thanks for watching. I will catch you guys in my next video, whenever that may be. So until then, thanks for watching and have a good night, guys.